Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today we are going to continue to try and spit in the face of God and play Minervamon in BT16. Now, originally my deck list was not that different than what I was running in EX5, BT15, all of that. But our good friend Langlong, thank you so much. You left a comment mentioning that we had a new card, BT16 MadLeomon. So this card kind of changes the way the deck plays, gives us a new kind of flow for the deck. And we're going to look at what changes we've made to kind of deal with the meta. So, starting with our eggs, we have 3 copies of BT15 DemiMeramon. On deletion by trashing 1 level 5 or higher Digimon card in your hand, we are going to draw 2 cards. This is really, really good. It's a 1 for 2 as long as we pitch a level 5 or higher. Lucky for us, we do want to pitch Lucemon, we want to pitch our Mervamons, and we do have really only a need for 1 level 5. So, you know, anything extra we can just pitch, toss away, and we're good. We get to draw 2 off of it. So this helps us find our pieces pretty well. 2 copies of BT3 DemiMeramon. On deletion, trigger draw 1, trash 1. This is at 2 because we do like to trash level 4s as well. We need to set up our trash for a Merva combo, and this is going to reward us for pitching anything that is smaller than a 5. So 2 copies of this, 3 copies of the other. I find this ratio works pretty well. Then, of course, we have 4 copies of BT11 Ignitemon. We need this to cross with Merva. The inheritable to gain a memory when you play Digimon by an effect does not come up that often, only when we go into Anubis, or if we go into Merva just naturally when Digivolving. Doesn't happen too often, but sometimes it comes up. Also, when attacking, we can delete one of our other Digimon to delete one of our opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a level less than or equal to the deleted Digimon's level. That comes up sometimes too. It's just a great card for this deck. Then we have 2 copies of BT8 Psychomon. This deck will lose to Crimson Blaze, and it will lose to Death Xmon. So to counteract that, we have 2 copies of this Psychomon. Players cannot reduce play cost. We are telling our opponent, I'm going to play 6 Digimon in a turn, and you are either going to cough up the full 6 memory for that Crimson Blaze, or you're not going to do anything about it, because that's what this boy's here to do. I do like Labramon in the deck. If there's not a lot of red floating around your meta, this could be a Labramon slot, but in playtesting, as soon as I hit somebody with a Death X or a Crimson Blaze, it was just lights out. So 2 copies of this card, I feel like, is mandatory. Then we have 3 copies of BT16 Ukkomon. So this is 1 to Digivolve. I do actually like that this is 1 to Digivolve because this feels a lot more natural than going the 0 cost Ukkomon and then not being able to play any trainings or boosts because you do not have a purple source in raising. So 1 to Evo, if you go first, it's great. And then your turn, when one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card or Tamer card among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck, then you can hatch. This is going to dig us really deep, really fast. This is also fantastic for chip damage. If we get to swing in and cycle with the DemiMeramon, we get to set up our trash effectively, which is great. And if this sticks around, we're just going to get to keep digging deeper and deeper. We search 4, then we search 7, then 10, and it just keeps going up. So if we keep it on board, generates tons of value. If we swing in with it after promoting it, we're still accomplishing our goal by cycling with that DemiMeramon egg. Then we have 2 copies of the promo Ukkomon. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, you may hatch in your breeding area, then gain 1 memory. So, like I mentioned earlier, this one's a little bit more awkward because if you go first with this in your hand, you are kind of stuck unless you hit a Tamer as well in your opening hand, which is not bad. We do really like that we can gain a memory off of promoting. We don't have any memory setters, so this kind of locks us out of getting choked to 1 and kind of makes more plays possible. So I do like it at 2. Then we have 2 copies of BT14 Damemon. This is one of our only retaliators in the deck for our level 4s. It is on deletion save, which does not matter. However, the blocker inheritable is fantastic. This did get cut down from the last version of the build from 4 to 2 because we are running the MadLeomon now, and because there's some suspend effects in this meta, and the blocker source kind of feels worse when you just get suspended down, and then you have a Minerva awkwardly sitting on the board. So 2 copies of Dame is fine. Then we have 2 copies of Ogremon. This is purely a meta call. There are lots and lots and lots of armor purge bodies in this meta. And you know what Ogremon says to those armor purge bodies? He says, "Be gone, I want nothing to do with you." So on play, you're going to trash a card in your hand to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. This can help us build up our trash. I actually feel like it's totally a viable play turn 2 if you put an Ukko in the back. Your opponent played out a Searcher rookie, they played, whatever. You just slam down this Ogremon, you pitch a card, so you're setting up your trash, and then you're going to pop that body and save yourself from the chip damage. I really think it's a fantastic card, and in this meta especially, it shines. If we hit the Anubis ever, and we plop out 2 of these, Armor Purge body is gone. The level 5 deletion effect will take out something else, or you'll draw a card and keep your hand nice and full. Also, if we Minervamon combo and we need to pave the way for all of our swings past all these Armor Purge blockers, well, Ogremon's just going to get rid of them. So that is fantastic. Next, the kind of star of the show, 4 copies of BT16 MadLeomon. He is 3 to Digivolve, which is important. When attacking, we can Digivolve into a card with Leomon from hand or trash. That doesn't really matter. What we care about is the inheritable. End of attack. By deleting this Digimon, you can play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. So now, Minervamon has a self-sack outlet. We no longer need to use other cards to pop our Minervamon. So we're either going to swing and naturally die to get our Merva combo, or we're going to survive the swing. We're going to activate this end of attack and get a full Merva combo plus 1 extra body, which is a huge difference because the Merva combo usually falls short on its own. That's why Anubis is just the better way to get Merva out. You just wind up with the extra body on board to swing and close the game. So this will now give us the extra body. It's fantastic. Then we have 2 copies of Promo Saberdramon. You got Raid, you got Retaliation. What more could you ask for? On deletion, you can return a red or purple Digimon card from trash to hand. This is for anything bigger than a level 4 that Ogremon could not handle. Ogremon shines when it needs to take out those Armor Purge blockers, but Saberdramon shines when there's a level 6 on the board, and you're like, man, if that thing stays on board, we're in trouble. So Saber just swings in, he hits the Kamikaze button, you are good to go. Moving on to our level 5s. 4 copies of BlueMeramon. We do still need to cycle cards. It is important in this deck that we build up our trash. So we have Retaliate, and when Digivolving, draw 2, then trash 2. All turns when you play a Digimon Bite Effect, gain a memory. Again, doesn't really come up unless we're going into Anubis, or if we Digivolve into the Merva naturally. So it is still a great card, though. 1 copy of Lucemon Chaos Mode. On play, we're going to delete one of our opponent's tamers or a level 6 or lower Digimon. Sometimes this comes up. It is just a nice toolbox option to have when you're playing Minervamon. 2 copies of Ogremon on play, and when Digivolving, by deleting one of your Digimon, delete 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less. On deletion, you can play a purple or red level 3 card from your trash without paying the cost. The Inheritable says the same. The thing about this card is this makes an OTK with Minervamon possible now, because if we swing, and we have MadLeomon and Ogremon in the stack, we're going to swing Minervamon for 1 check. We are then going to activate the MadLeomon. We're going to, let's play pretend, we say we play a Retaliate body. That is another check on this turn. Ogremon, let's say he plays out Ignite. That's a 3rd check. Then we get Merv on board. We get 2 more Retaliate bodies. That's 6 checks. That's a lot of checks for 1 swing, 1 combo. And that's assuming we haven't chipped at all with Ukkomon. So we have potential to swing 7 damage in a turn. That sounds great to me. The only downsides to this card are that it costs 4 to Evo, which hurts. That is not nice. We don't like that. But sometimes you can choke your opponent with it, which is kind of cool. And then the deleting one of your Digimon effect is not mandatory. So if you Digivolve with this outside of raising, and it is your only Digimon on board, you will be deleting your Ogremon. You do not have a choice. So for that reason, it is at 2 instead of at 4, and the BlueMeramon's at 4 instead. But it is just, it's really nice for the combo. It's kind of a high rolly piece, but I do like it. It also controls the board pretty good if you're playing against something that goes wide like Numemon or even Red Hybrid sometimes. So then 1 copy of Chimeramon. You might have noticed that we only have 4 Retaliate bodies in our level 4 pool. So to deal with that, we have a Chimera. So if we need to, we can DNA into this guy, get a cheeky extra check. If we wind up high rolling and we get all the Retaliators on the board, we swing them, they live, but we're still short on some damage because of all the blockers in the way. Let's just DNA into this Chimera and get the extra check. Also, we can tuck the blocker Inheritable on the Damemon, or we can tuck the MadLeomon Inheritable and then go back into a Minervamon and set up this loop 1 more time. So that feels really nice as well. 3 copies of Minervamon, our main boss monster in the deck. She is a Retaliator. Opponent's turn. When an opponent plays a Digimon, you may play 1 level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its play cost, and then any on-play effects do not activate. On deletion, if your opponent has 2 or fewer Digimon in play, you may play 1 purple level 5 or lower Digimon or 1 Merva from the trash without paying its play cost. The first effect does not come up that often, but if it does, you will love it. And then the on deletion effect is kind of what we're doing to use our combo. Next, 3 copies of Mervamon. This is what we need to initiate our combo. When you would play this card, you can also place cards from trash to Digicross it. On play, when Digivolving, you play a level 4 or lower Digimon card or 1 level 4 or lower Crossheart from trash without paying the cost. If Digicrossing, you add 1, so you get to play out 2 bodies with this card. And then everything with Retaliate gets Rush and Blocker. So that is how we are swarming the board with bodies and trying to swing for an OTK or spit out lots of bodies to control the board and then go for game next turn. 1 copy of Anubismon. This is still fantastic for the high roll. It is less efficient in this deck now that we no longer have that many gain of memory effects in our inheritables. However, it's still great at playing out the Merva. When Digivolving main, you can trash up to 3 cards in your hand, play a purple Digimon from trash with a play cost reduced by 3, and then for each card you trash, you reduce it by 1 more. So for Merva, you'd be reducing it by 6, and then if you Digicross, you reduce it by 3 more. So you're reducing it by 9, you play out the Merva for 2, and then you would gain a memory off of the Merva playing itself out with the Ignite, and you would effectively pay 1 for this Merva, which is really, really, really nice. And then your turn, when an effect plays one of your Digimon, you delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon, and if you did not delete, you draw 1. So you're going to pitch 3 to either draw 2 or delete 2 level 5 or lower bodies. So very good card. 1 copy of BT13 Gallantmon. This card does still win me games when you would play this card from your hand. If you have no Digimon, reduce the play cost by 2 for every 5 total cards in both players' trashes. It has Rush, that is how it wins us games. And then on play, when Digivolve, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 6k DP or less. If no opponent's Digimon was deleted by this effect, delete one of their bodies with 13k or more. This guy breathes in your direction wrong, you are going to die. So I do like him at 1. 1 copy of Death X to kind of deal with the armor purges in this meta and deal with Numemon. It's going to hit anything that goes wide and just be really good at doing that. 1 copy of Ruin Mode because you cannot go wrong with this card in purple. It's just going to lock out the opponent and prevent them from having a response to you going nuts. So 1 copy is fine. Then we have 1 copy of Calling from the Darkness. Delete one of your Digimon, return 2 purple Digimon cards from trash to hand. This is another self-sack outlet. It grabs our pieces back. It's just nice to have. Then we have 1 copy of Pandemonium Flame. You may delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a level less than or equal to the deleted Digimon's level. This is to get around situations where attacking is unsafe. Blast Astes are everywhere. They are kind of a pain in the butt to deal with, and if we need to deal with one really badly, and we can't swing, sometimes a Pandemonium Flame gets us through, and we do like that. Also, some situations where you could Pandemonium Flame your Minerva might be good, and then initiate the Minerva combo after. Also gets rid of any bodies that really, really have to go for you to not lose the game next turn. So I find it's appropriate at 1. 1 copy of Purple Memory Boost. I could not fit 2, that is why this is at 1. You could drop the Pandemonium Flame, go 2 Purple Boost, or drop the Purple Boost and go 2 Pandemonium Flames. I feel like either is okay. But I do like myself a Purple Memory Boost, and I do like myself Pandemonium Flame, so I opted for 1 and 1. 4 copies of Wisdom, training more digging, help us find our pieces and go up our stack. 2 copies of Digimon Emperor. This card is good in BT16 because Ukkomon is everywhere, and this card also spits in the face of Yellow Vaccine, which I feel like resonates with me as a person. So all turns when one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon is deleted, you can suspend this tamer to draw 1. Then opponent's turn, when one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon is moved from breeding to their battle area, you gain 2 memory. So if they have a Patamon and they're set up with a TK, they promote the Patamon, oops, you lose 2 memory. You're still going to gain 1 back from the TK, you're going to gain 1 off the Patamon inheritable, but you have effectively neutralized that 2 memory that they would gain off of those inheritables. So I do like Digimon Emperor for that. And because of the Ukkomons, if they promote an Ukko, they're going to lose 2 memory. Of course, in some cases, they'll gain 1 back off the promo Ukkomon, but still mitigating the effectiveness of Ukkomon does feel really nice. Lastly, 2 copies of Analog Youth. On play, reveal top 3, add a Digimon, the rest go trash, and then when a level 5 or higher with Digivolution cards is deleted, you can suspend the tamer to hatch an egg and gain a memory. This is going to help fill our trash with our pieces, and it's going to help us net some value back after we pop our Minerva for our combo. So that is it for the deck profile. I think this is tons of fun in this meta. It is still by no means the best deck in the format, but it has been adapted for the format. So I think it's totally playable. I think you should give it a try. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you have any suggestions or improvements we can make to the deck. I do know that I still wish I had space for Crimson Blaze. I think it is a little bit unwieldy in the current version of the deck. It's hard to find space. I guess you could drop Pandemonium Flame to go 1 up Crimson Blaze. That might be okay, but I think it would kind of be preference at that point. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.